One of the major discoveries that I believe is more important than the tombs that we found are actually the statues that we found. Because Saqqara...
In the shadows of the towering pyramids and amidst the whispers of the Nile's gentle currents lies a civilization that defies the boundaries of time. But beyond the facade of historical splendor and captivating spirituality lies a darker truth. This is an electrifying expedition, peeling back the layers of time to uncover the ancient Egyptian practices that challenge our notions of right and wrong. From peculiar beauty treatments that would make your skin crawl to culinary preferences that defy imagination and even funeral customs that dabble in the realm of zoolatry.
Also put amulets, protective amulets, all around the body, both in the front and also in the back, that would help the body achieve an afterlife.
Here are the 10 most fascinating and repulsive practices that were prevalent in ancient Egypt. Number 10. Women shoved crocodile dung into their private parts to avoid pregnancies. Here is a shocking revelation about ancient Egyptian women who actually used crocodile dung as a form of contraception. Surprising, right? If your curiosity burns bright and you yearn for more tales of this wild human sexuality and its peculiar twists, hook on to this video. It's a captivating journey through time about 4,000 years ago. While this method is far from advisable today, it may have worked peculiarly. How could crocodile feces be effective, you ask? Well, it would have created a physical barrier between the vagina and the cervix, potentially blocking sperm from reaching an egg. Interestingly, the malleable nature of dried dung might have provided a more comfortable and effective barrier compared to hard objects like wood or metal. But that's not all. Ancient Egyptians ingeniously combined honey, a powerful antimicrobial agent, with ground-up acacia leaves, which produce lactic acid, a known spermicide. It may sound unpleasant, but there is a strange logic to it. While we can't be certain of its effectiveness, the combination of a physical barrier and a sperm-killing additive was a recurring theme in ancient cultures. For instance, women in the Talmud soaked sponges in vinegar, creating a cervical barrier and making the vaginal environment less sperm-friendly. Other civilizations experimented with toxic substances like lead mixed with oil and honey or used ghee with rock salt. Elephant dung even made an appearance. Although modern experiments haven't tested these methods, for obvious reasons, the underlying principles make sense. Number 9. Egyptians used rotten donkey liver to dye their hair black. Ancient Egyptians had some peculiar beauty treatments that may surprise you. One remedy for gray hair involved using rotten donkey liver cooked in lard and rubbed into the hair. Another suggestion from the Hearst Medical Papyrus was to cook a mouse, let it rot in lard, and then use it on the hair. For hair removal on the legs and body, they recommended a concoction of boiled bird bones, fly dirt, lard, sycamore milk, gum, and salt. These unusual beauty practices, described by Susan Stewart in her book Painted Faces, A Colorful History of Cosmetics, were simple but unlikely to be successful and had an unpleasant smell according to modern standards. Stewart takes us on a lively journey through the history of makeup, teeth cleaning, and hair dyeing, starting from ancient Egypt, where both men and women wore false beards and eyeshadows made of crushed lapis lazuli and malachite. We also learn about Greece and Rome, where even Emperor Nero complained about men having their armpits plucked in the bathhouse. The early church fathers even discussed the morality of using makeup. It's fascinating to explore these historical practices. Number 8. Egypt's pharaohs ejaculated into the Nile in hopes of a good harvest. In ancient Egypt, an unconventional ritual took place where the pharaohs and the general public believed that their fertility could bring prosperity to the land. According to a captivating legend, a god named Autumn was said to have created the universe through ejaculation and masturbation. This myth connected the Nile, the longest river in the world, to the number of times Autumn ejaculated. To honor this divine act, the pharaohs performed a sacred ceremony each year. Known as the Feast of Nim, it was a time to recreate the gift bestowed by Autumn and to nourish the Nile. As the ceremony unfolded, the pharaoh and a group of men would gather at the river's edge. Stripping off his regal attire, the pharaoh would engage in an intimate act of self-pleasure, allowing his semen to mingle with the flowing waters of the Nile. But it wasn't just the pharaoh who participated in this extraordinary ritual. The men from the general public joined in as well, embracing the belief that by imitating the performances of the gods, they could invoke the river's blessings and ensure a bountiful harvest. With a sense of unity and shared purpose, they, too, would disrobe and release their seed into the sacred waters. This ancient Egyptian practice may seem astonishing to us today, but it reflects the deep connection between fertility, nature, and the human desire for abundance. It serves as a testament to the intricate beliefs and customs of a civilization that sought harmony with the forces of the natural world. Ancient Egypt never fails to amaze us with its unique traditions, and this ritual stands to prove the extraordinary lengths people would go to ensure their prosperity. It is indeed one of those remarkable and somewhat eccentric facts that make ancient Egypt an endless source of fascination. Number 7. Egyptians used all sorts of animal and insect feces as medicine. Did you know that ancient Egyptians had a unique perspective on feces? They considered it a symbol of immortality. To them, animal droppings, especially the spherical ones, were seen as something holy and sacred. But why? Well, it all goes back to their fascination with scarab beetles nearly 5,000 ago. Scarab beetles have a peculiar behavior. They lay their eggs in animal dung, and from this messy environment, their young ones emerge. This natural process of new life emerging from the filth intrigued the Egyptians, who saw it as a symbol of creation and rebirth. So, they began to celebrate the scarab beetles and regarded their poop as a sign of something sacred. To the ancient Egyptians, the pushing of dung balls by dung beetles represented the cycle of sunrise and sunset, a daily renewal. And when a new beetle emerged, it was seen as a representation of immortality. The scarab beetle, in particular, played a significant role in their mythology. It even found its place in Egyptian artworks, and people crafted jewelry and amulets inspired by its distinctive shape. But it doesn't stop there. The Egyptians also used a mixture of different animal droppings, including those of dogs, donkeys, and gazelles, in their medicine. They believed that these mixtures had healing properties and could even ward off evil spirits. It may sound strange to us now, but for them, it was an integral part of their cultural practices and beliefs. Interestingly, Khepri, one of the Egyptian gods associated with renewal and the creation of life, had a head that resembled a scarab beetle. This further highlights the significance of these creatures in their mythology and worldview. So, the next time you come across a scarab beetle or stumble upon ancient Egyptian artifacts featuring this remarkable insect, remember the extraordinary way in which the Egyptians perceived feces and the role it played in their beliefs about immortality, renewal, and the circle of life. It's one of those intriguing and slightly peculiar facts that make the ancient Egyptians truly fascinating. Number 6. They used baboons to catch criminals. Did you know that in ancient Egypt, baboons were actually trained to assist in catching criminals? It may come as a surprise, but historical evidence, including hieroglyphs and artwork, has revealed that Egyptian authorities utilized baboons on leashes as police animals, similar to how modern-day police employ dogs. In fact, there is a striking picture in classical Egyptian artwork that portrays authorities releasing a baboon onto a thief in a bustling marketplace. The desperate criminal can be seen pleading for mercy as the baboon sinks its teeth into his leg. Ancient Egyptian tomb walls often featured scenes depicting various aspects of daily life, providing a glimpse into the lives of the deceased. One such example is found in the low-relief carving of Tepemank. In this portrayal, a nude man is being grasped by the legs of a large baboon, fiercely attempting to fend off the animal with his left arm. Behind them stands a second man, adorned in a short kilt and holding a whip in one hand. On the other hand, he leads a female baboon carrying a baby. Traces of color can still be discerned, adding to the richness of the artwork. But catching thieves was just one of the many remarkable ways baboons were depicted in Egyptian art and mythology. They were also shown dancing, playing musical instruments, picking fruit, making wine and beer, and even engaging in other human-like activities. These depictions highlight the high regard the ancient Egyptians held for baboons and their belief in their intelligence and capabilities. The connection between baboons and humans in these depictions is a testament to the Egyptians' perception of baboons as creatures with unique qualities and attributes. They saw these animals as more than just pets or symbols. They recognized their potential and incorporated them into their society and artistic representations. The use of baboons in law enforcement not only showcases the ancient Egyptians' innovative thinking, but also offers a glimpse into their complex societal structure. It reveals their understanding of the natural world and their ability to utilize the strengths of different creatures for practical purposes. Number 5. Women peed on wheat to determine pregnancy. The discovery of ancient Egyptian papyrus manuscripts dating back 3,500 years and now stored in the Papyrus Carlsberg collection at the University of Copenhagen has provided amazing insights into the practices and beliefs of this ancient civilization. These unpublished documents cover various subjects, including astrology, medicine, botany, and astronomy. The manuscripts reveal that astrology held great importance in ancient Egypt, being considered a serious science rather than a pseudoscience as it is often regarded today. Astrology was used for predicting the future and played a significant role in decision-making, even for matters as consequential as determining the most favorable day for a king to go to war. In addition to astrology, the manuscripts also shed light on the Egyptians' medical knowledge. They contain information on the treatment of eye diseases and demonstrate an understanding of the existence and function of kidneys, showcasing the advanced understanding of the human body in ancient Egypt. One particularly intriguing passage describes an ancient Egyptian prenatal test. According to the text, a pregnant woman would urinate into bags of barley and wheat, and the bag that sprouted first would indicate the gender of her unborn child. This method, although unconventional by modern standards, was significant in ancient Egypt for determining the gender of offspring. The discovery of these manuscripts also highlights the enduring influence of ancient Egyptian ideas. A similar pregnancy test is mentioned in German folklore from as early as 1699, underscoring how the beliefs and practices of ancient Egypt have left traces throughout history. Overall, the translated papyrus manuscripts provide a captivating glimpse into the ancient Egyptian civilization, showcasing their sophisticated understanding of various sciences, their reliance on astrology, and their unique methods for exploring the mysteries of pregnancy and childbirth. Number 4. They shaved off their eyebrows when their cat died. How do you mourn the dead? In most extracts, they are mourned with hearty gifts of flowers and beautiful items thrown on their graves. You probably wouldn't do this for animals and pets. But here is an ancient people who mourn their dead cats by shaving their eyebrows till they grow back. In ancient Egypt, the feline creatures that prowled their homes held a special place in the hearts of the people. The Egyptians believed that cats were not ordinary animals, but bearers of good fortune. They thought that having a cat in their homes would bring blessings and protect them from harm. So cherished were these furry companions that families even adorned them with precious jewels, treating them like royalty. When a cat passed away naturally, it was a sorrowful event for the family. They mourned their beloved feline by doing something quite unusual, shaving off their own eyebrows. Yes, you heard it right. As a symbol of their grief and respect, they would remove their eyebrows and continue mourning until the hair grew back. It was a solemn and heartfelt way to honor the memory of their furry friend. The love and admiration for cats didn't end with their passing. The ancient Egyptians went to great lengths to ensure that their feline companions would be cherished even in the afterlife. They mummified the cats just as they did with humans, preserving their bodies through elaborate rituals. These mummified cats were then carefully buried, sometimes alongside their human companions, so that they could continue their journey together in the realm beyond. Interestingly, despite their adoration for cats, the ancient Egyptians also saw them as suitable offerings to the gods. In a paradoxical twist, these revered creatures were sometimes sacrificed in religious ceremonies. It was believed that presenting a cat as a sacrifice would please the gods and bring about their favor. The rituals of adorning cats with jewels, mourning their passing with shaved eyebrows, and mummifying and burying them in grand ceremonies showcase the extraordinary lengths to which the Egyptians went to honor and cherish their feline friends. Number 3. Bloodletting. Travel back in time several thousand years, and you'll find yourself in an era where medical treatments were quite different from what we know today. Whether you were an Egyptian plagued by migraines or a feverish Greek seeking relief, there was a common remedy that physicians turned to, and that was bloodletting. Think of yourself in the doctor's chamber. The air is heavy with anticipation as the physician prepares to administer the treatment. With a steady hand, they reach for a lancet or even a sharpened piece of wood, ready to pierce the skin and release the vital fluid within. The patient's arm is bared and a vein is carefully opened, allowing the crimson stream to flow into a waiting vessel. If fortune smiled upon the patient, leeches might be employed to perform the gruesome task in place of crude instruments. This practice, known as bloodletting, is believed to have originated in ancient Egypt, where it first took root. From there, it spread to Greece, capturing the attention of renowned physicians like Erasistratus, who lived during the 3rd century BC. In his view, all ailments were believed to arise from an excess of blood, a condition known as plethora. It's worth noting that Erasistratus held another fascinating belief, that arteries transported air instead of blood, sparing some of his patients' blood vessels from his eager blade. Number 2. Weird food and dietary. In a twist that would make your taste buds tingle and your stomach churn, it turns out that even the most refined palates of ancient Egypt savored the delicate essence of a rodent fillet. Yes, you heard that right. Mice, those tiny creatures scurrying through your attic, were transformed into delectable dishes fit for kings and queens. The very thought of catching a mouse and savoring its succulent meat may seem unfathomable to our modern sensibilities, but for the ancient Egyptians, it was just another culinary adventure. But if the thought of munching on mice doesn't quite whet your appetite, fear not, for the ancient Egyptians had more exotic options to tempt your taste buds. Hedgehogs, those adorable little spiky creatures, made their way onto the menu. Yes, you heard that right, hedgehogs. The Egyptians were intimately acquainted with two species, the desert hedgehog and the long-eared hedgehog. Speaking of fish, the ancient Egyptians were truly enamored with these aquatic delights. With the mighty Nile River flowing through their lands, fish was a staple of their cuisine. They consumed fish in copious amounts, finding creative ways to prepare it. One such dish, facade, originated in ancient Egypt and was discovered sealed in jars within Egyptian tombs. Facade consisted of fermented dried and salted fish, a combination that would leave any modern food connoisseur gagging. The fermentation process gave birth to a horrific equation of flavors and, for some unfortunate souls, life-threatening consequences. The dish has been known to cause severe food poisoning, with symptoms ranging from abdominal cramps to constipation, nausea, vomiting, and, in extreme cases, even death. It's a culinary adventure best approached with caution, as it seems the risks outweigh the rewards. The people of ancient Egypt embraced a wide array of ingredients, flavors, and cooking techniques, turning even the most unexpected creatures into tantalizing dishes fit for a pharaoh. Number 1. Use of animal fat toothpaste. Nobody in the world knows that the Egyptians, those mysterious souls who built pyramids and worshipped feline deities, were pioneers in the realm of toothpaste long before the brush even graced the hand of a Chinese inventor. In the heart of this ancient land, the Egyptians embarked on a quest for sparkling smiles and breaths as fresh as the morning breeze. Their journey began with a humble concoction, a powdery elixir crafted from the most unexpected ingredients. Ox hooves, once strong and steady, were reduced to ashes. These ashes, combined with eggshells, rock salt, and a hint of pepper, formed the core of their toothpaste alchemy. The Egyptians believed in harnessing the powers of nature, drawing upon the essence of these seemingly ordinary substances to create a potent blend. But they didn't stop there. They gathered around their primitive mirrors, smearing this remarkable concoction onto their toothy grins. They would have marveled at the refreshing tang that swept across their mouths, the slight tingle that whispered of cleanliness. With swift strokes, they would have scrubbed away the remnants of meals past, banishing the invisible foes that threatened their oral health. So, the next time you squeeze a dollop of minty freshness onto your toothbrush, take a moment to pay homage to the Egyptians, those pioneers in the realm of oral hygiene who crafted toothpaste from ashes, eggshells, and the secrets of the Nile. Thanks for watching. While you are here, click the video on the screen to watch more amazing content.